Yesterday, we learned that Trump has been indicted on a number of charges, including under the Espionage Act, which is a huge deal. And also, as is the case for so many things relating to Donald Trump, a first for former presidents. The indictment has been unsealed. It got unsealed just this morning, and hoo boy, the DOJ has really given us a content goldmine for this one, all right? We're going to read the indictment. It's a bit long, but we're going to read it because it's pretty big, you know? Listen, Donald Trump is good at worming his way out of trouble. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying he's going to have to worm harder than he ever has before. He will need to, oh man, he will need to really up the worm game. Yeah, second indictment has hit the towers. Folks, it's bad. It's bad for him. It's really bad, okay? Listen, we're going to read a summary from Politico before we get into it itself, okay? Super quick. A federal indictment unsealed Friday charges former President Trump with 37 felony counts stemming from an investigation into the presence of a trove of classified info at his Florida estate, that's Mar-a-Lago, and other locations after he left office. Prosecutors, led by special counsel Jack Smith, very American name, allege that Trump arranged to remove a massive collection of highly sensitive classified material, much of which consisted of intel about the defense and weapons capabilities of the United States and foreign countries, to his private residence as he left the White House in January 2021. He had aides stash those records in boxes that also included personal items and ordered them shipped to his estate at Mar-a-Lago at the end of his tenure, according to the indictment. The 49-page charging document, we'll read that, also says that on at least 2 occasions, Trump showed classified records to visitors without security clearance at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's over, bros. Bros, it's over. It's over. Including the map of a military operation to a representative of his political committee. As the Justice Department began inquiring about the record stashed at Trump's home, the indictment alleges Trump ordered an aide, Walt Nauta, to begin moving boxes with classified records to obscure them from investigators. He did this without informing his attorney, who was prepared to search Trump's property in compliance with court-authorized subpoenas to recover the records. It's over, folks. This is it. This was the question. To what extent did Donald Trump willfully evade investigation, and how much did he show other people? Okay? This is it. Oh my God, folks. Oh my God. Look, all right. We need to get into it, okay? Because this is insane. The entire unsealed indictment is right here. The DOJ coming at you hot right here with the charges. So an indictment is when a grand jury lays charges. Here, general allegations, all right? Defendant Donald Trump, as president, had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents and national defense info gathered and owned by the U.S. government, including information from the agencies that comprise the U.S. intel community and the U.S. Department of Defense. It's a big deal. Big deal. Very important. Over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Boomer behavior. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. These documents included intel on defense and weapons capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries, U.S. nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for the possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the U.S. military and human sources, and the continued viability of sensitive intel collection methods. At 12 p.m. on January 20th, 2021, Trump ceased to be president. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified docs, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain these classified documents. So there was a big legal hubbub a while ago about whether or not Donald Trump, as the president, has the right to declassify the documents that he kept at Mar-a-Lago. Does he have the ability to make it not a crime to keep them by having declassified them? And the answer is Obviously not. Declassification is a process that you have to follow. Those documents were not declassified. They were just sitting in his house. You know, if he had gone through a process of declassification beforehand, which would not have been a good idea considering those documents included a bunch of national secrets, then there would be an argument to be made there, but he didn't do that. He just took the boxes. The Mar-a-Lago Club was an active social club, which between January 2021 and August 2022 hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nevertheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including in a ballroom, a bathroom and shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. There will be photos of these further down the article. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others, as follows. In July 2021, at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, during an audio-recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, and 2 members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, Trump showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the DOD and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals the plan was, quote, highly confidential and, quote, secret, another bit of evidence to the fact that he had not, in fact, declassified them, even in his own mind. Trump also said, quote, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. This was a recorded conversation. It's so over. I believe I even have that recording.
Former President Donald Trump in the news. Trump faces secure former President Trump. The former leaving the White House. Trump allegedly heard saying, as president, I could have declassified, but now I can't.
Is this not the auto recording itself? Where is it? Where's the exact recording?
A search of Mar-a-Lago.
I know the recording is out there. Give me the recording.
And this is, I don't want to get...
Yeah, there is no federal law. There's no constitutional president who last legal case brought against this case. Right?
In the
because yes.
There's only the transcript, I believe. Okay, then the audio recording was aired during the grand jury hearings, but hasn't been made public because the trial is... Okay, sorry. I must have misread earlier then. The audio recording is confirmed to have existed because its evidence was used in part of the indictment. The DOJ has the audio. So that'll be presented in the trial, which will happen soon. In August or September 2021, at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his PAC, his Political Action Committee, who did not possess a security clearance, a classified map related to a military operation, and told the representative he should not be showing it to the representative, and the representative should not get too close. Like it's more illegal if the representative gets too close to the classified document, like the gamma particles radiating from it, the classified gamma particles increase. Guys, remember, I called this. Remember when I said, back when the FBI initially raided Mar-a-Lago, and I said that there are 2 possibilities. Either he is paying other people, or like being paid, to look at these classified documents, or he's showing them off because he's an idiot. Literally, or he's literally just going, hey, check these out. Look at these things I've got you. Huh? It's pretty cool, huh? Literally, I said this. I was right. He literally did this. It was the dumber option. You always bet low with Trump, okay? On March 30th, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that's called the FBI for those of you who don't know, opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. A federal grand jury investigation began next month. The grand jury issued a subpoena requiring Trump to turn over all documents with classification markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigations and conceal his continued retention of classified documents by, among other things, suggesting his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have these documents, directing defendant Waltine Nauta to move boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump's attorney, who was trying to comply with the subpoena, suggesting his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the subpoena, just frantically trying to flush all of these classified nuclear secrets, providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for while claiming he was cooperating fully, causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury falsely representing all documents called for had been produced while knowing, in fact, that not all such documents had been produced. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the U.S. government until 2022, as follows. On January 17th, nearly 1 year after Trump left office, and after months of demands by the National Archives and Records Administration for Trump to return his missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. On June 3rd, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding, them all back, Trump's attorney provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classification markings. On August 8th, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI recovered from Trump's office in a storage room 102 more documents with classification markings. Trump's co-conspirator, defendant Nauta, after having saved Mabase City from a meteor, was a member of the United States Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Beginning in August 2021, Nauta became an executive assistant in the office of Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Many such cases. Nauta reported to Trump, worked closely with Trump, and traveled with Trump. So, by the way, this Nauta person, they're getting 6 felony charges as well. They're in this too. The Mar-a-Lago Club was located on South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach, Florida, and included Trump's residence, more than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office space, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than 150 full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. There's a bit of expositional information here. Hold on. The Secret Service were present because they protect former presidents. Classified information. National security info was information owned by, produced by, and under the control of the U.S. government, pursuant to executive order, blah, 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 right? This explains what is top secret, what is secret, and what is confidential. So, to summarize, because there's a long document for us to read here, top secret is if the info reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage to the national security if released. Secret is if it could be expected to cause serious damage. Confidential is if it could be expected to cause damage. So basically, it's highly subjective. I'm sure that it's a mess. The classification marking no foreign stood for not releasable to foreign nationals and denoted that dissemination of information was limited to U.S. persons. Classified information relating to intelligence sources, methods, and analytical processes were designated as sensitive compartmented information, or SCI. SCI was to be processed, used, stored, or discussed in an accredited sensitive compartmented information facility, or SCI-F, and only individuals with appropriate security clearance and additional SCI permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information. You might notice as we discuss this in this indictment that has been provided by a grand jury that the severity of what is being discussed is several tiers higher than anything Donald Trump has faced before. If charges are brought against you and you're reading like what they are and why they're being delivered, and you're having the technical classifications of top secret military documents explained, national security stuff is really important, as it turns out, to the federal government. It might actually be one of the most important things to them. This is, again, really bad for Trump. Really, really bad. When the vulnerability of or threat to specific classified info was exceptional and the normal criteria for determining eligibility for access to classified info were insufficient to protect the information from authorized disclosure, the U.S. could establish Special Access Programs, or SAPs, to further protect the classified info. The number of these programs was kept to an absolute minimum and limited to programs in which the number of persons who ordinarily would have access would be reasonably small and commensurate with the objective of providing enhanced protection for the information involved. Only individuals with the appropriate security clearance and additional SAP permissions were authorized to have such national security info, which was subject to enhanced handling and storage requirements. Again, we're kind of understanding here that the antithesis to these procedures is Donald Trump having a stack of Department of Defense secrets in his shower that he casually shows to people around him as a flex. Pursuant to Executive Order 13526, information classified at any level could be lawfully accessed only by persons determined by an appropriate U.S. government official to be eligible for access to classified information and who had signed an approved non-disclosure agreement, who received a security clearance, and who had a need to know the classified information. After his presidency, Trump was not authorized to possess or retain classified documents. Executive Order 13526 provided that a former president could obtain a waiver of the need-to-know requirement if the agency head or senior agency official of the agency that originated that classified information, 1, determined in writing that access was consistent with the interest of national security, and 2, took appropriate steps to protect that information from unauthorized disclosure or compromise and ensure the info was safeguarded. Trump did not obtain any such waiver after his presidency. As part of his official duties as president, Trump received intel briefings from high-level U.S. government officials, including briefings from the director of the CIA, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, senior White House officials, and a designated briefer. He regularly received a collection of classified intelligence from the U.S. Intel Committee known as the President's Daily Brief. The USIC's mission was to collect, analyze, and deliver foreign intel and counter-intel information to America's leaders, including the president, policymakers, law enforcement, and the military, so they could make sound decisions to protect the United States. The USIC consisted of U.S. executive branch departments and agencies responsible for the conduct of foreign relations and the protection of national security. After his presidency, Trump retained classified documents originated by or implicating the equities of multiple USIC members and other executive branch departments and agencies, including the following: the Central Intelligence Agency, the Department of Defense, the National Security Agency, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, the Department of Energy, the Department of State and Bureau of Intelligence and Research. So this is just a whole list of deep state boogeymen who now have to contend with the fact that their highly secret documents were shower stuffing for the biggest, wettest boy to ever fill the seat of the presidency. Yes, it should be noted the Department of Energy has control over nuclear development, by the way, just because that one's not necessarily intuitive. Responsible for maintaining a safe, secure, and effective nuclear deterrent to protect national security, including ensuring the effectiveness of the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile without nuclear explosive testing, which we can't do anymore. Trump's public statements on classified information. As a candidate for President of the United States, Trump made the following public statements, among others, about classified information. On August 18, 2016, Trump stated, "In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law." I love that they put this in. It's so sassy. On September 6, 2016, he said, "We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified." This is why I'm a MAGA communist, you see. I'm just following through on Trump's promises here. On September 7th, he said, "One of the first things we must do is enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information." On the 19th, he said, "We also need the best protection of classified information." On the 3rd of November, he said, "Service members here in North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intel to protect our country." As President of the United States, on July 26, 2018, Trump issued the following statement about classified info. I say this now understanding that my Trump voice is terrible. As the head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue of security clearance raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. So, such access is particularly inappropriate when former officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive info to validate their political attacks. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of national, not personal interests. It's terrible, I know, but he did say that. Thank God we're free. In January 2021, as he was preparing to leave the White House, Trump and his White House staff, including Nauta, having just saved Mabase from the Pirate King, packed items, including some of Trump's boxes. We know what was in those. Some of Trump's boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago Club's white and gold ballroom, in which events and gatherings took place. This is a extremely copy-burned photo of boxes and boxes, thank you for the color photos, that are stacked in the ballroom of Mar-a-Lago, containing, again, classified intelligence from the CIA, the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy's nuclear secrets. There. I can preempt some of the other photos we're going to see burned copy images of. Here's them stacked in a bathroom, under a chandelier, next to the toilet. Here's them in what looks to be a basement storage room. Here's another photo from what I assume is a basement storage room. Why is there a chandelier in the toilet? It is Mar-a-Lago. On April 5th, 2021, an employee of the office of Donald J. Trump, to be referred to as Trump Employee 1, texted another employee of that office, to be known as Trump Employee 2, to ask whether Trump's boxes could be moved out of the business center to make room for staff to use it as an office. Trump Employee 2 replied, "Whoa! Okay, so POTUS specifically asked Walt for those boxes to be in the business center because they're his papers." End quote. Later that day, Trump Employee 1 and 2 exchanged the following text messages. Trump Employee 2 says, "We can definitely make it work if we move his papers into the lake room?" Trump Employee 1 says, "There's still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is." Is it only his papers he cares about? There's some other stuff in there that are not papers. Could that go to storage? Or does he want everything in there on property? Trump Employee 2 says, yes, anything that's not the beautiful mined paper boxes can definitely go to storage. Want to take a look at the space and start moving tomorrow AM? I know as much as you do. After the text exchange between Trump Employees 1 and 2 in April 2021, some of Trump's boxes were moved from the business center to a bathroom and shower in the Mar-a-Lago lake room, as depicted in this photo below. We, of course, saw a non-copy or burned version of this photo, though I think it looks a lot better copy or burned, to be honest with you. Looks fitting. Here we can see all the mined paper kept in the bathroom. In May 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago Club, aka the storage room, to be cleaned out so it could be used to store his boxes. It's Obra Dinn. This is you're sent in by an insurance investigator to find out how many nuclear secrets the former president leaked. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, including one accessible from the Mar-a-Lago Club pool patio through a doorway that was often kept open. That's right, folks. This isn't like a private subsection of the Mar-a-Lago Club. A guy who leaves the pool, goes through an open door, and then opens one more door is now sharing a room with top-secret nuclear documents. The storage room was near the liquor supply closet, linen room, lock shop, and various other rooms. On June 24th, 2021, Trump's boxes that were in the lake room were moved to the storage room. After the move, there were more than 80 boxes in the storage room, as depicted in the photographs below. We have, of course, seen these photos in their unburnt state. On December 7th, 2021, Nauta found several of Trump's boxes and their contents spilled onto the floor of the storage room. We have not seen this photo in its glorious original color, but this was just a photo of a box that had fallen with top secret documents strewn from it, just sort of spilled out. It's in this? Yes. Let's get the color photo of that, please. Thank you. We don't want to miss anything. Here we go. So, top secret documents. Remember, random doodads from around the office, newspapers, clippings. They were all stuffed in these boxes. So you could read, I don't know, Dilbert before it got removed from newspaper publication because he's the guy's a racist. And you could also read like nuclear secrets, like right next to each other, which is, which is good, which is great, which is fine. I see a redacted line, Lamau. Yeah, you might notice there is a redacted line right here. There is a reason for that redacted line. Just right there. There's the Washington, Post, Times, I don't know. Got some photos of Trump that he decided to keep of himself. And then here's something that the Department of Justice had to redact before they could release it. Just, you can imagine. Including a document a document marked secret/relay to USA FVEY, which denoted the information in the document was releasable only to the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, consisting of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Nauta texted Trump employee 2, quote, "I opened the door and found this." Nauta also attached 2 photographs he took of the spill. Trump employee 2 replied, "Oh no, oh no," and, quote, "I'm sorry, POTUS had my phone." Must be a wacky work environment over there at Mar-a-Lago. You never know what's going to happen. Truly, you walk in, nuclear secrets, Trump's there. He's eating some ketchup and steak. He takes your phone. Nobody knows what's going on. One of the photographs now texted to Trump employee 2 is depicted below with the visible classified info redacted. Trump's unlawful retention of this document is charged in count 8 of this indictment. Trump's disclosure of classified information in private meetings. We're nowhere near done. In May 2021, Trump caused some of his boxes to be brought to his summer residence at the Bedminster Club. Like the Mar-a-Lago Club after Trump's presidency, the Bedminster Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. On July 21, 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview in his office at the Bedminster Club to a writer and a publisher in connection with a then forthcoming book. 2 members of Trump's staff also attended the interview, which was recorded with Trump's knowledge and consent. So to be clear, this wasn't like a probe or an investigation or anything like that. This wasn't a wiretap. He knew. Before the interview, the media had published reports that at the end of Trump's term as president, a senior military official purportedly feared Trump might order an attack on Country A, and that the senior military official advised Trump against doing so. Upon greeting the writer-publisher, it's almost certainly Iran, by the way. That is Country A. It's almost certain to be Iran. Upon greeting the writer-publisher and his 2 staff members, Trump stated, "Look what I just found. This was the senior military official's plan of attack. Read it and just show. It's interesting." Later in the interview, Trump engaged in the following exchange. Do I have to? God damn it. "Well, with the senior military official, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Country A. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. Pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Yeah. I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know? Except it's like highly confidential. Yeah. Haha. Secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attacking. By the way, isn't this incredible? Yeah. I was just thinking because we were talking about it, and he said he wanted to attack country A, and what you did. This was done by the military and given to me. I think we can probably, right? I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to declassify it to figure out it. Yeah. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Yeah. Now I can't, but this is still a secret. Yeah. Now we have a problem. Isn't that interesting? This guy sounds terrified. This guy is shitting his pants right now. The staffer in there is just like profusely sweating as the former president is like showing him, like literally like printed at the top. If you read this paper, the CIA will kill you. And Trump's just like, isn't this funny? Isn't this cool? Jesus Christ. Now this is recorded. So guys, again, I know Trump is really good at worming his way out of problems, but there is literally a recording of him saying, I didn't declassify this top secret information. I'm not allowed to have it. It's not declassified. I can't show you this, but I am anyway. We'll probably hear the audio come out when the trial happens. At the time of this exchange, the writer, the publisher, and Trump's two staff members did not have security clearances or any need to know any classified info about a plan of attack on Country A. In August or September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at the Bedminster Club with a representative of his PAC, Political Action Committee. During the meeting, Trump commented that an ongoing military operation in Country B was not going well. Probably Afghanistan. Trump showed PAC representative a classified map of Country B and told the PAC representative that he should not be showing the map to the PAC representative and to not get too close. The PAC representative did not have a security clearance or any need to know classified information about the military operation. On February 16, 2017, 4 years before Trump's disclosure of classified info set forth above, Trump said at a press conference, the first thing I thought when I heard about this is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed? Trump's production of 15 cardboard boxes to the National Archives and Records Administration. Beginning in May 2021, the National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, which was responsible for archiving presidential records, repeatedly demanded Trump turn over presidential records he had kept after his presidency. On multiple occasions, beginning in June, NARA warned Trump through his representatives that if he did not comply, it would refer the matter of the missing records to the Department of Justice. Between November 2021 and January 2022, Nauta and Trump Employee 2, at Trump's direction, brought boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence for Trump to review. On November 12, 2021, Trump Employee 2 provided Trump a photograph of his boxes in the storage room by taping it to one of the boxes Trump Employee 2 had placed in Trump's residence. Trump Employee 2 provided Trump the photograph so Trump could see how many of his boxes were stored in the storage room. Hello. The photograph shown below depicted a wall of the storage room against which dozens of Trump's boxes were stacked. On November 17, 2021, Nauta texted Trump Employee 2 about the photograph Trump Employee 2 had provided to Trump, saying, he mentioned about a picture of the boxes. He wants me to see it. Trump Employee 2 replied, calling you shortly. On November 25, 2021, Trump Employee 2 texted Nauta about Trump's review of the contents of the boxes, asking, has he mentioned boxes to you? I delivered some, but I think he may need more. Could you ask if he'd like more in the Pine Hall? Pine Hall was an entry room in Trump's residence. Nauta replied in 3 successive text messages. Nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on in Pine Hall. Knocked out 2 boxes yesterday. On November 29, 2021, Trump Employee 2 texted Nauta asking, Next, you are on property, no rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up? Nauta replied, yes, of course. On December 29th, 2021, Trump employee 2 texted a Trump representative who was in contact with Nara. Box answer will be wrenched out of him today, promise. The next day, Trump representative 1 replied in 2 successive text messages. Hey, just checking on boxes. Would love to have a number to them today. Trump employee 2 spoke to Trump and then responded a few hours later in 2 successive text messages. 12 is his number. On January 13th, 2022, Nauta texted Trump employee 2 about Trump's, quote, tracking of boxes, stating, quote, he's tracking the boxes, more to follow today on whether he wants to go through more today or tomorrow. Trump employee 2 said, thank you. On January 15th, Nauta sent Trump employee 2 4 successive text messages. One thing he asked was for new covers for the boxes for Monday morning. Can we get new box covers before giving these to them on Monday? They have too much writing on them. I marked too much. Trump employee 2 replied, yes, I will get that. On January 17th, Trump employee 2 and Nauta gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded the boxes into Nauta's car, and took them to a commercial truck for delivery to Nara. When interviewed by the FBI in May 2022 regarding the location and movement of boxes before the production to Nara, Nauta made false and misleading statements as set forth in count 38 of this indictment, including falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review before Trump provided 15 boxes to Nara in January 2022. Falsely stating he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck for delivery to Nara had gotten to the residence, and when asked whether he knew where Trump's boxes had been stored before they were in Trump's residence, and whether they had been in a secure or locked location, Nauta falsely responded, I wish I could tell you, I don't know, I honestly don't know. When the 15 boxes Trump had provided reached Nara in January 2022, Nara reviewed the contents and determined 14 of the boxes contained documents with classification markings. Specifically, as the FBI later determined, the boxes contained 197 documents with classification markings, of which 98 were marked secret, 30 were marked top secret, and the remainder were marked confidential. Some of the documents had PSI and SAP markings as well. On February 9th, 2022, Nara referred the discovery of classified documents in Trump's boxes to the Department of Justice for investigation. On March 30th, the FBI opened a criminal investigation. On April 26, a federal grand jury opened an investigation. That's a rather perfunctory segment right there. Little oops. The defendant's concealment of boxes. On May 11th, 2022, the grand jury issued a subpoena to the office of Donald Trump requiring the production of all documents with classification markings in the possession, custody, or control of Trump or the office of Donald J. Trump. 2 attorneys representing Trump attorneys 1 and 2, of course, informed Trump of the May 11th subpoena, and he authorized Trump attorney 1 to accept service. We're skipping out of order a little bit, but I think you would both find it, or you would all find it very funny to know that following the unsealing of the indictment against Donald Trump, 2 of his lawyers immediately quit. They had been working with him for months. They unsealed the indictment. That's what we're reading right now. They read the thing we're reading right now, and they turned 360 degrees and walked away. Nope. The attorneys, Jim Trusty and John Raleigh, did not explain in detail why they'd resigned, other than to say, quote, this is a logical moment to do so. The joke is 360. It's an old 4chan meme. The joke is Xbox 360. You turn 360 degrees around. They call it the Xbox 360 because you turn 360 degrees around and you walk away. And it's a joke and it's a green text. And you're all Zoomers and you're younger than me and you all need to grow facial hair. Anyway, yeah. A logical moment for them to leave. So would they have known about all of this, Vosh, and just left because it got discovered? No. In the indictment, they talk about how Trump was concealing information even from his own attorneys. In all likelihood, these attorneys were only being kept on retainer or to like broadly defend Trump against future charges or indictments. And now that they see what he's actually like, what's actually leveled against him, they're like, nope. And they're leaving. Very funny. Instead, he's going to be represented by Todd Blanche, a New York lawyer who's also representing him in the Stormy Daniels case, which you might remember was the one where Donald Trump was shown a photo of sorry, not the Stormy Daniels case. I was thinking of the one where he sexually assaulted that woman back in the 80s. Basically, you have to be a Trump loyalist to stick with him right now. On May 22nd, 2022, was it the 90s? The 90s, not the 80s. Nauta entered the storage room at 3:47 p.m. You know it's spicy when they start including specific times and not just dates. And left approximately 34 minutes later carrying one of Trump's boxes. On May 23rd, 2022, Trump met with Trump Attorney 1 and 2 at the Mar-a-Lago Club to discuss the response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump Attorney 1 and 2 told Trump they needed to search for documents that would be responsive to the subpoena and provide a certification there had been compliance with the subpoena. Trump, in sum and substance, made the following statements, among others, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. So effectively, these are summaries of things that he said as provided through testimony to the grand jury. I don't want anybody looking. I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. I really don't. I don't want you looking through my boxes. Well, what happens if we just don't respond at all or don't play ball with them? Wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here? Well, look, isn't it better if there are no documents? When meeting with Attorney 1 and 2 on May 23rd, Trump, in sum and substance, told the following story, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. Attorney, he was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said that it was him, that he was the one who deleted all her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great. And so she didn't get in any trouble because he said he was the one who deleted him. So what he's essentially saying here is, what if I pin it on somebody else? Trump related the story more than once that day. On May 23rd, Trump also confirmed his understanding with Trump Attorney 1 that Trump Attorney 1 would return to the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2nd to search for any documents with classification markings to produce in response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump Attorney 1 made it clear to Trump that he would conduct the search for responsive documents by looking through Trump's boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago Club. I do think it's very funny, by the way, that they're still screeching lock her up, and now we have evidence that Donald Trump was essentially saying that he was going to try to do what he thinks Hillary Clinton's team did, you know? Like, after lock her up being one of the main things that his supporters were chanting in 2016, he's basically saying, we can do that. He can't do that. And the situations are not comparable, not even close. But still, it shows what's going on in his head. Trump indicated he wanted to be at the Mar-a-Lago Club when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review his boxes on June 2nd, and that Trump would change his summer travel plans to do so. Trump told Trump Attorney 2 that Trump Attorney 2 did not need to be present for the review of boxes. After meeting with Trump Attorneys 1 and 2 on May 23rd, Trump delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club to the Bedminster Club for the summer, so he would be present at the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2nd, when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review the boxes. Between Trump's May 23rd meeting with Trump Attorneys 1 and 2 to discuss the May 11th subpoena, and June 2nd, when Trump Attorney 1 returned to the Mar-a-Lago Club to review the boxes in the storage room, Nauta removed, at Trump's direction, a total of approximately 64 boxes from the storage room and brought them to Trump's residence. So essentially, Trump said, "Oh, sure, lawyer of mine, you can comply with the requests of NARA, and you can go over these documents with me to return them." And before showing up to do so, he had his co-conspirator, Nauta, remove 64 boxes. On May 24th, 2022, between 5:30 and 5:38 p.m., Nauta removed 3 boxes from the storage room. On May 30th at 9:08 a.m., Trump and Nauta spoke by phone for approximately 30 seconds. Between 10:02 a.m. and 11:51 a.m., Nauta removed a total of approximately 50 boxes from the storage room. On May 30th, 2022, at 12:33 p.m., a Trump family member texted Nauta, "Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. I saw you put boxes to POTUS room. Just FYI, and I will tell him as well. Not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have a room for them. Plane will be full with luggage. Thank you. So this is a text from a family member of Donald Trump where they're saying, we don't have room for the boxes of classified documents you are illegally transporting to evade inspection. Walter, you can't do that, Walter. Walter, turn away. Walk away, Walter. Put the boxes away, Walter. Nauta replied, good afternoon, ma'am, smiley face emoji. Thank you so much. I think he wanted to pick from them. I don't imagine him wanting to take the boxes. He told me to put them in the room and that he was going to talk with you about them. And then he removed 11 more boxes on June 1st. On June 1st, 2022, Trump spoke with Trump Attorney 1 by phone and asked whether Trump Attorney 1 was coming to the Mar-a-Lago Club the next day and for exactly what purpose. Trump Attorney 1 reminded Trump that he was going to review the boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago Club so he could have a custodian of records certify the May 11 subpoena had been complied with fully. On June 2nd, 2022, the day that Trump Attorney 1 was scheduled to review Trump's boxes in the storage room, Trump spoke with Nauta at 9:29 a.m. for approximately 24 seconds. Speculation from my end of things here, Trump was confirming with Nauta that all of the boxes had been removed, the ones that he didn't want NARA to get back. 24 seconds. He call, are they all gone? Yep, okay, close. I can't imagine that conversation being about anything else. Later that day, between 12:33 and 12:52, Nauta, an employee of the Mar-a-Lago Club, moved approximately 30 boxes from Trump's residence to the storage room. In sum, between May 23rd and June 2nd, before Trump Attorney 1's review of Trump's boxes, Nauta had moved approximately 64 boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence and brought to the storage room only approximately 30 boxes. Again, speculation, this makes it extremely clear the reason for this shuffle is because there were specific classified documents that Donald Trump did not want returned to NARA. That's why these boxes were being looked through, why he was insistent on hiding them from his attorney so that he would not comply with the subpoena, lying with the to the investigators. Neither Trump nor Nauta informed Trump Attorney 1 of this information. On the afternoon of June 2nd, as Trump had been informed, Trump Attorney 1 arrived at the Mar-a-Lago Club to review those boxes to look for documents with classification markings. Trump met with him to conduct the review. Nauta escorted Trump Attorney 1 to the storage room. Between 3:53 and 6:23 p.m., Trump Attorney 1 reviewed the contents of Trump's boxes in the storage room. Trump Attorney 1 located 38 documents with classification markings inside the boxes, which Trump Attorney 1 removed and placed in a red-weld folder. Trump Attorney 1 contacted Nauta and asked him to bring clear duct tape to the storage room, which Nauta did. Trump Attorney 1 used the clear duct tape to seal the red-weld folder with the documents with classification markings inside. After Trump Attorney 1 finished sealing the red-weld folder containing the documents with classified markings, Nauta took Trump Attorney 1 to a dining room to meet with Trump. After Trump Attorney 1 confirmed he was finished with his search in the storage room, Trump asked, "Did you find anything? Is it good?" The wettest brain. Trump and Trump Attorney 1 then discussed what to do with the red-weld folder containing documents with classification markings and whether Trump Attorney 1 should bring them to his hotel room, and put them in a safe there. During that conversation, Trump made a plucking motion, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room? And if there's anything really bad in there, like, pluck it out. And that was the motion he made. He didn't say that. That evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted the DOJ and requested an FBI agent meet him at the Mar-a-Lago Club the next day, June 3rd, so he could turn over the documents responsive to the May 11 subpoena. Also that evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted another Trump Attorney 3, and asked her if she would come to the Mar-a-Lago Club the next morning to act as a custodian of records and sign a certification regarding the search for documents with the classification markings. Trump Attorney 3, who had no role in the review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, agreed. The next day, on June 3rd, 2022, at Trump Attorney 1's request, Trump Attorney 3 signed a certification as the custodian of records for the office of Donald J. Trump and took it to the Mar-a-Lago Club to provide it to the DOJ and the FBI. In the certification, Trump Attorney 3 who performed no search of Trump's boxes and had not reviewed the subpoena and had not reviewed the contents of the red-weld folder, stated, among other things, that based on the information that had been provided to her, a diligent search was conducted of the boxes that were moved from the White House to Florida. The search was conducted after receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any and all documents responsive thereof, and any of all responsive documents accompany their certification. Remember what Trump said earlier? If you get another person to do it, somebody who, isn't me, then you do what Hillary did, and you're not in trouble. They got a third attorney who was not aware of the level of corruption going on in this entire scenario and said, "Oh, it's fine. Yeah, you can be the custodian of records. You can be the person who signs off on the authenticity of this. Oh, you didn't review any of this. You didn't look at the box. It's fine. It's fine. This is a big moment for your career. You get to be a custodian of records for the office of Donald J. Trump, a former president. That's a big deal. Hey, come on, it's fine. We just need a guy to sign this. Come on." Right, custodian of records. So you certify that everything's here. You specifically, you? Okay, incredible. These statements were false because, among other reasons, Trump had directed now to move boxes before Trump Attorney 1's June 2nd review. So note, all of the attorneys are being duped here. It's Nauta and Trump that are conspiring. The attorneys are being lied to. Now, are the attorneys exercising proper due diligence? From what we've seen so far, Trump Attorney 1 does not seem to have done anything wrong. Trump Attorney 3 did. Trump Attorney 3 acted as a custodian of records despite not having the knowledge to certify it. But that doesn't fall under the purview of conspiracy. In this case, that would just be a failing in her job, right? This would be incompetence. This would be negligence. It wouldn't be conspiracy to felony crime, to be clear. It could be getting disbarred. That might lead to getting disbarred. That's pretty bad. It's very bad, but it's not felony prison. Shortly after Trump Attorney 3 executed the false certification, on June 3rd, 2022, Trump Attorneys 1 and 3 met at the Mar-a-Lago Club with personnel from the DOJ and FBI. Trump Attorneys 1 and 3 turned over the red-weld folder containing documents with classification markings, as well as the false certification signed by Trump Attorney 3 as custodian of records. Trump, who had delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club, joined Trump Attorneys 1 and 3 for some of the meeting. Trump claimed to the DOJ and the FBI that he was an open book. Earlier that same day, Nauta and others loaded several of Trump's boxes, along with other items, on aircraft that flew Trump and his family north for the summer. And in Trump's mind, he's gotten away with it. Nobody in the federal government will notice that hundreds of classified documents are missing. He's gotten away with it. The court-authorized search of the Mar-a-Lago Club. In July 2022, the FBI and grand jury obtained and reviewed surveillance video from the Mar-a-Lago Club showing the movement of boxes set forth above. In case you were wondering how bad the evidence is here, all of this has video evidence to it. None of this is not conjecture. All those box movements, all those phone records. On August 8th, 2022, the FBI executed a court-authorized search warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club. The search warrant authorized the FBI to search for and seize, among other things, all documents with classification markings. During the execution of the warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club, the FBI seized 102 documents with classification markings in Trump's office and the storage room, as follows. In Trump's office, 27 documents were found, 6 of which were top secret, 18 secret, and 3 confidential. In the storage room, 75 documents were found, 11 of which were top secret, 36 secret, 28 confidential. And now we get to the counts. Counts 1 through 31. The willful retention of national defense information under 18 U.S.C. Code 793, also known as, Chad, I know you know. You know I know you know. The Espionage Act. Let's go. The general allegations of this indictment are re-alleged and fully incorporated here by reference. On or about the date set forth in the table below in Palm Beach County in the Southern District of Florida and elsewhere, the defendant, Donald J. Trump, having unauthorized possession of, access to, and control over documents relating to the national defense, did willfully retain the documents and fail to deliver them to the officer and employee of the U.S. entitled to receive them. That is, Trump, without authorization, retained at the Mar-a-Lago Club documents relating to the national defense, including the following. Document dated May 3rd, 2018, concerning White House intel briefing related to various foreign countries. Another from May 9th. Undated document concerning military capabilities of a foreign country and the United States with handwritten annotation in black marker. Handwritten annotation on a top secret document. This was, that one's important. Document dated May 6th concerning White House intel briefing related to foreign country, including military activities and planning of foreign countries. Document dated June 2020 concerning nuclear capabilities of a foreign country. Document dated June 4th, 2020 concerning White House intel briefing related to various foreign countries. Document dated October 21st, 2018 concerning communication with a leader of a foreign country. Document dated October 4th, 2019 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Undated document concerning military attacks by a foreign country. Also top secret. Or informal title, top secret, redacted, or con no foreign FISA. If any civilian was caught swinging this thing around willfully, oh my God, vaporized. Document dated November 2017 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Undated document concerning military contingency planning of the United States. Pages of no marking on that one, by the way, which suggests to me that they're not even revealing what level of classification it was under, which means it's so top secret they can't even talk about how top secret it is. Contingency plans for the military? Yeah. Pages of undated document concerning projected regional military capabilities of a foreign country and the United States. Undated document concerning military capabilities of a foreign country and the United States. Document dated January 2020 concerning military options of a foreign country and potential effects on United States interests. Document dated February 2020 concerning policies in a foreign country. Document dated December 2019 concerning foreign country support of terrorist acts against U.S. interests. Hello, Saudi Arabia. Document dated January 2020 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Document dated March 2020 concerning military operations against United States forces and others. Undated document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States. Formerly restricted data. I don't even know what that means. Undated document concerning timeline and details of attack in a foreign country. Undated document concerning military capabilities of foreign countries. Document dated August 2019 concerning regional military activity of a foreign country. Document dated August 30th, 2019 concerning White House intel briefing relating to various foreign countries with handwritten annotation in black marker. That one's marked special handling. Undated document concerning military activity of a foreign country. Document dated October 24th, 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries in the United States. Document dated November 7th, 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries and the United States. Document dated November 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries. Document dated October 18th, 2019, White House intel briefing related to various foreign countries. Document dated October 18th, 2019, military capabilities of a foreign country. October 15th, 2019, concerning military activity of a foreign country. And finally, document dated February 2017, concerning military activity of a foreign country. That's what they're getting him on. All in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 793. But wait, there's more. Count 32, conspiracy to obstruct justice. The general allegations of this indictment are re-alleged and fully incorporated here by reference. The conspiracy and its objects. From on or about May 11th, 2022 through in or around August 2022 in Palm Beach County in the Southern District of Florida and elsewhere, the defendants, Donald J. Trump and Walt T. Nauta, did knowingly conspire, combine, confederate, and agree with each other and with others known and unknown to the grand jury to engage in misleading conduct toward another person and corruptly persuade another person to withhold a record, document, and other object from an official proceeding in violation of 18 U.S.A. 1512b2a, and to corruptly conceal a record, document, and other object from an official proceeding in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1512c1. The purpose of the conspiracy: to allow Trump to keep classified documents he'd taken with him from the White House and hide and conceal them from a federal grand jury. The manner and means of the conspiracy: the manner and means by which the defendant sought to accomplish the objects and purpose of the conspiracy included, among other things, the following: suggesting that Trump Attorney 1 falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the May 11 subpoena, moving boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump Attorney 1, the FBI, and the grand jury, suggesting Trump Attorney 1 hide or destroy documents called for by the May 11 subpoena, providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the May 11 subpoena while Trump claimed he was cooperating fully, causing a false certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury representing that all documents with classification markings had been produced when in fact they had not, and making false and misleading statements to the FBI, all of which were in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1512K. Count 33, withholding a document or record. The general allegations of this indictment are re-alleged and fully incorporated here by reference. From on or about May 11th through to around August 2022 in Palm Beach County, Southern District of Florida, and elsewhere, the defendants Donald Trump and Walter Nauta did knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person and knowingly corruptly persuade and attempt to persuade another person with intent to cause or induce any person to withhold a document, a record, or other object from an official proceeding. That is, Trump attempted to persuade Trump Attorney 1 to hide and conceal documents from a federal grand jury, and Trump and Nauta misled Trump Attorney 1 by moving boxes that contained documents with classification markings so that Trump Attorney 1 would not find the documents and produce them to a federal grand jury, all in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Sections 1512b2a and 2. Count 34. The general allegations of this indictment are re-alleged and fully incorporated as follows, that Trump and Walter Nauta did corruptly conceal a record, document, or other object and attempted to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity and availability for use in an official proceeding. That is, Trump and Nauta hid and concealed boxes that contained documents with classification markings from Trump Attorney 1, so Trump Attorney 1 would not find the documents and produce them to a federal grand jury, in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Sections 1512c1 and 2. Count 35. Concealing a document in a federal investigation. It's basically the same thing. Did knowingly conceal, cover, falsify, and make false entry into any record, document, tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, influence the investigation and proper administration of any matter with the jurisdiction of a department and agency of the U.S. We understand. Count 36, scheme to conceal. Same basic thing. We have a lot of overlapping laws. It's a big country. Count 37, false statements and representations. This goes over the lies he told. We've gone over those lies. Count 38, false statements and representations. Again, lies. It goes on as such. Yes, we've seen these. Regarding information provided to the FBI. And now, finally, at long last, we end the counts. We are done with the counts. Seeing now signatures from Redacted and Jack Smith, Special Counsel, U.S. Department of Justice. We have stopped the count, folks. And the rest of it is just the standard bureaucratic stuff, which, you know what, is actually going to be very interesting for us to read because there's a little bit of info here that I want you to take a look at, okay? So, this is all stuff filed in the indictment by the grand jury. I do hereby certify that I have carefully considered these allegations of the indictment. Right, sure. I'm aware the info supplied in the statement will rely upon the judges of the court and set of their calendars. Interpreter, yes, no. This case will take 21 days for the parties to try. They expect the trial to take less than a month. Signed by J.I. Bratt, Assistant Special Counsel. Defendant's name, Donald J. Trump. And then it lists the things of which he has been accused and what it could cost him. In counts 1 through 31, max term of imprisonment 10 years. That's a death sentence for a man of his age. Max fine $250,000. Count number 32, conspiracy to obstruct justice. Max term of imprisonment 20 years. Max fine $250,000. Max term of imprisonment 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 5 years, 5 years. If he gets convicted on all of these, if he gets the max sentence for all of them, he could have a couple hundred years in prison. Any amount of time in prison will be the end for him. So, folks, there's a reason I wanted to go over all of this, and that's because a lot of the stuff that's been thrown at Trump has been largely political. For example, the 2 times he's been impeached. Those impeachments were sham trials because, of course, beforehand, we know the Republicans were always going to vote to acquit him of the impeachment, right? Like there was never like a real, face-to-face conflict with justice there. It wasn't a fair impeachment in that sense. And Trump's had legal troubles for ages, but oftentimes legal trouble is the kind of thing that you can delay, you can litigate, you can push down the road. Not this one. Yeah, that was all really, really, really serious, you know? This is the kind of serious that if it wasn't happening to a former president, people get disappeared over. If you look through the annals of history and you just take a look at what stuff like this generally leads to, it's a big, big deal. And the evidence against him is overwhelming. All the stuff that we looked at, this includes video recordings, voice recordings, knowingly false statements made directly by Trump and his representatives on behalf of Trump to the FBI and the DOJ. This is like really bad for him. At first, when I heard the news, I thought, okay, Trump's wiggled his way out of conflict before. Normally, the conflict that Trump faces is a bad PR move or like political obstructionism. This is different. Now, I can't see the future. I don't know. There could be some nonsense that happens that, throws a curveball at the whole thing, and maybe he doesn't get in trouble. But, man, could it happen? Could he get out of this? Could he worm his way out of this? It's not impossible. This hasn't really ever happened to a former president. But nothing like this has happened before. Nothing like this has happened before. And what's more, by the way, I do not think that he can be president again. Leaving aside all of the legal stuff, it's for another reason. The administrative state will never work with him. All of the departments whose files he leaked, willfully, knowingly, they all know it. They will never work with him. He is literally a national security threat. This is literally worse than Watergate. Oh, this is many times worse than Watergate. This is unbelievably egregious. This is a ridiculous level of willful corruption and obstructionism that exceeds, to my knowledge, anything done by a president, current or former, before. It is light years beyond. It is unbelievably bad. Now, Republicans are going to defend him through this, of course. Maybe some types will have a come to Jesus moment. Not most of them. They're anti-empiricist, However, the reason I wanted to go through the whole document with you guys, the whole indictment, is because I wanted you guys to realize, as I am now, that there is no ambiguity here. That it is overwhelming. It is a monster of an indictment. It's not just another news story to look at and go, he'll never get tried. It is worth understanding the severity of. It's a big dealio. Now, some people are saying that the judge for this case will be a Trump-appointed judge. It is, remember, the jury that decides guilt or innocence. Additionally, we have had Trump-appointed judges many times before that have not followed along with the behavior of the Trump administration. Remember, many Trump-appointed judges presided over the cases that they had concerning the election steal, and overwhelmingly, they tore it apart. Additionally, the evidence here is so overwhelming that, I'm pretty sure the DOJ and the grand jury, like they would just appeal if it, like, guys, it's a really big deal. This is not the kind of indictment that could just be like hand waved off by a favorable judge. Like, this is so, like, what you're basically, this is like a torpedo is flying towards Trump, and you're reminding me that he's got like a wooden board that he can hold up in front of him. I'm aware of that, but like, this is big. This is huge. So this is bad that he put us in danger. Oh, 100%. We have evidence of stuff Trump did with his the people around him, but he was holding on to these top secret documents for a reason. And as funny as it would be to pretend delusionally, naively, that he was only holding on to those documents because he was treating them like newspaper clippings of his like top moments, in reality, he was almost certainly selling or showing national secrets to either people in this country or people from other countries. There is literally no reason to believe that Donald Trump has any particular interest in the long-standing stability of the United States. And I hope even the most, I don't know, radical anarchists watching this right now understand that national secrets exist for a reason. I don't think that everything the government has classified should be classified. I think many things could be declassified, and that would be for the better interest of the public. However, that does not mean that I want Saudi Arabia looking at our nuclear capability intel. I don't think that in any way supports the interests of the international proletariat. I do not think a deranged octogenarian fascist president showing national secrets to other fascists is in any way improving the transparency of the U.S. empire. I just don't think that's true. So just to be clear, it's almost certainly Saudi Arabia. It's got to be. It's got to be. Yeah, the $2 billion that Jared Kushner got. Yeah, we'll see. What does prison look like for a former president? Nobody knows. This has never happened before. We have no idea. Nobody knows what's happening. We are truly in uncharted waters. Everything that is happening from this point forward is like void space. History is being carved out in front of us as we move forward. There is no precedent to rely on. It is a new frontier in criminal justice, which is interesting, if nothing else. Can he still run in prison if he's convicted as a felon? With these charges, I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure that if the felonies that you're convicted of relate to national defense, like it doesn't. I get, my answer is I don't know whether or not you technically can, but in a functional sense, the administrative state would not allow somebody like Donald Trump to rule. It just wouldn't happen. You can't govern this country when if the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, the Department of Energy, the FBI, if all of these organizations know that you're a national security threat and hate you for it, you can't functionally run the country, right? Like you just can't. It's like, it's ridiculous. The administrative state. This is one of the, by the way, in case you're wondering, this is probably the main reason, or one of the main reasons, the GOP has been trying to push people onto DeSantis, largely fruitlessly. It's because DeSantis is not the kind of fascist who would just randomly keep a bunch of secret nuclear documents in his toilet or whatever. This is the kind of shit Trump does that makes him like an ineffective long-term administrator of an anti-democratic state. Because you can't piss off the administrative state. Guys, every country in history that has an authoritarian takeover, who's the people you don't want to upset? The military. Or, in our case, the Department of Defense and the Pentagon. You know, this is not good behavior if you want to do a whole coup business. This doesn't work. This isn't good. Is there any chance Trump still gets away with it? I mean, nothing's impossible, but like, holy shit, this is insane. I don't think I can convey how unprecedented this is. This goes so far beyond anything. It's unbelievable. I'm at a loss. Is there anyone else? Can I get somebody? Legal Eagle must have tweeted about this. I need somebody who you know law. Tell me, like verify. He did. I was thinking about him too. Has he explained? Okay, he's making jokes about the bad decor in here. All right. I don't know, seems bad. This was not exactly the information I was looking for. I feel like without a law degree, I arrived at this conclusion independently, Vash, I feel like if it's unprecedented, the judge and jury from the conservative area will find him not guilty. No, it goes beyond that. It's not. First of all, jury selection is a whole thing. Second of all, like it's the entire administrative state of the United States of America is now unambiguously aligned against Donald Trump. There is no ambiguity. There is no longer any, well, they can put up with him even if he's a bore because he's the president. This is that we're talking about the centralization of the greatest political power in human history being fully aligned now against a national security threat. This is not a, well, the judge and jury were so he got off situation. It would take an act of God to keep this from going terribly for Trump. And unbelievable. I lack the words to describe how much this is. This is so, he is going in the device. He is going in the contraption. Are Trumpers going to break out in civil unrest? For sure. There's going to be death threats against everyone involved in the case against Donald Trump. This is going to lead to enormous political chaos for sure. But like, oh man. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Look, we'll see. We'll see. I genuinely, I cannot convey how unprecedented this is politically. This is like the political equivalent of if Russia just carpet nuked Ukraine. Like that's the level this is on. In terms of like how out there this is, how much of a game changer this is. It is the kind of thing, this news should be reacted to with the same seriousness as when they printed the paper saying we nuked Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's the tier of history. This will be, for as long as human civilization exists, this will be taught about in history books, okay? For when the empire of America has crumbled to dust, future civilizations will still have courses that mention this in the same way we learn about Genghis Khan, because it's so important that even if you're not broadly learning about the history of the Mongolian Empire or whatever, you still need to know a few pointers, and this will be in that tier. It is unbelievable. And the evidence for it, as far as I can tell, considering that it's comprised of direct testimonial audio recordings that Trump consented to and video recordings, is irrefutable. There's already been a threat of civil war from a member of Congress. Oh, yeah, Andy Biggs, that's right. Yeah, of course. A lot of them, there will be a split in the GOP, I think, from people who like ride or die with Trump through all of this, and ones who try to like push past it. And I'm going to be very interested in seeing how that goes. Happy Cake Day, Sake. Have we addressed the delay and pardon angle? I've heard this from my girlfriend's dad, lol. Can't delay. You can only delay so much here. Delaying's not the delay. It's most of the stuff that you can do the delay and appeal thing for are like Donald Trump has charges brought against him for like some inappropriate financial thing, and he's like, oh yeah, we'll just like delay this for years and years. This isn't an independent district attorney. This is the DOJ. This is not like one guy in a state who investigates with police officers running a charge against a billionaire. This is the administrative state in its entirety bringing charges with irrefutable evidence against a national security threat. We are in unprecedented territory. You might as well be asking me, what is it like in this planet we just saw through time? I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know the rules because nobody does. We don't have a historical precedent. There is none. There is nothing, no matter how smart somebody is, no matter how well educated they are in legal or historical matters, nobody right now can look at you and say confidently, this is what's probably going to happen. They can only guess, and some informed guesses are, of course, better than others, right? But we live in interesting times. The DOJ only brings cases they're confident they will win. Them bringing this case at all says something. Them bringing this case and suggesting that it will only take 21 days, despite it being against a former president. 3 weeks. Video of boxes being loaded. Are those public? It's Joever, man. Oh my God, it's so Joever. Who is out here hand recording the movement of these boxes? Didn't he already get off on 2 impeachments? Impeachments mean that you're tried by the Senate. The impeachments would never lead to a conviction. God damn. Why am I terrified about DeSantis winning the primary than the election? I don't think DeSantis will win. He doesn't have the power Trump has. While a partisan judge might not simply turn over the jury decision, he or she might overturn the prison recommendation by stating, however, considering the age and high governmental position the defendant held and taking into account the security of the prison, the court recommends the defendant be remanded to house arrest. I don't know if that would be allowed to happen because he would have to be kept on house arrest at the scene of the crime. Like, you know, oh, for punishment for your crimes, you get to stay in the gigantic resort where you did the thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's unprecedented. It's totally unprecedented. Completely unprecedented. I'm getting a lot of questions from chat right now that I can't answer. I don't think that DeSantis has the charisma to ignite the GOP the same way that Trump does. His approval ratings have already gone down significantly. People just don't like. They just his people have been teaching him to act like Trump. He doesn't have the energy that Republican voters seem to be interested in. Maybe he'll be more of a threat, but I don't know. Of course, it's worth noting that if Trump is convicted and then DeSantis becomes the president, DeSantis could pardon Trump. So one of the things DeSantis could do to win favorability with the GOP is run on pardoning Trump from the deep state corruption or whatever, because these are all federal charges. So, in fact, he's almost certainly going to do that. So I guess Biden will just have to win, huh? Vosh, I know this is a danger to national security. Is this a danger to, like, us as a people? I would be more concerned with Trump and DeSantis than I would be the consequences of the leaked information. But yes, it is. There is a reason many of those documents are kept secret. Well, folks, I feel like that's everything I have to say on the subject. I don't know if there's anything that I can add. The Ann Coulter take? Ah, yes. I can't believe that Ann Coulter would have maybe the best take on this scenario. That's nothing. I'm calling on every Republican to commit suicide in solidarity with Trump. Otherwise, we don't have a country, folks. Well, when you're right, you're right. I mean, hey, you know. What is this? President Trump has said he has been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. This is a perimeter probe from the oppressors. Hold, POTUS has this. Buckle up, 150K, know your bridges. Rock steady, calm, that's all. Oh, yeah, this is the representative here calling for far-right paramilitary groups to kill the people trying to bring Trump in. Deeply scared, 150K refers to military-scale maps and publicly available U.S. geological survey maps of areas surrounding mostly military installations. This isn't a metaphor. This isn't a slow civil war. This is a congressman calling for the real thing. Yeah, some Congress people are going to very directly... Will this take the heat off trans people? Just wait, okay? The DOJ is going to send a trans lawyer to prosecute against Trump. It's going to be Joever. We're going to start the greatest discourse American politics has ever seen. It's time. I legitimately worry about Jack Smith's life here. Okay, I have some good news, folks. Every person at the DOJ who has a hand in this indictment against Trump is currently surrounded by more military firepower than you've ever seen in your life. They are safe right now. You could not get at them if you wanted to. They're not stupid. They know exactly what is on the table here. I promise you. There are like 50 battalions. They're in a bunker. Okay, they are they are secure. The entire U.S. military is currently in Miami, ready and waiting, inside a bunker, inside a bunker, inside a bunker. Honestly, I hope they try. Do you have any idea how bad it would be for the GOP optics for a bunch of far-right lunatics with like swastika tattoos to shoot at, like, Secret Service, DOJ guys, FBI guys, get massacred in retaliation, and then, like, all that gets broadcast? And you know the first thing Trump would do when that happens is say, like, don't you hurt my precious, beautiful boys. You know, don't you, my little pogchamps, they were just trying to protect from deep state corruption and tyranny, the most fake indictment of all time. It would not help his case. He would not be able to resist doing that. Oh, Hunger Master. I don't know the specific contents. They're classified documents. Yeah? I won't pretend to know for sure. I think that country A is Iran and B is Afghanistan, but those are only guesses. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, right? When these all get declassified 50 years from now as old men and women and non-binary people, we'll get to find out. Canada, yeah. The recording wasn't censored. He did say Iran. This is what we have to do to protect our judges. Oh, yeah, faceless court. Yeah, I don't know if they would do something like that for something this high profile, but, you know, I guess we'll have to see. Oh, the jury is going to be anonymous, though. You will never know the name of the jurors, because they would, if the jurors' names got leaked after a conviction of Donald Trump, they would be pasted across the street within 24 hours. There's no way they would let the jury's names be known. At least the prosecutors and judges have the benefit of, like, federal protection. But yeah. Do you think Trump will attempt to leave the country? It's too late. It's too late. He's due to appear on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure that at this point, if he tried to flee, like, the Air Force would get, like literally, like, ground him, you know? I don't think they would let him. It's too late. Keep in mind, the Department of Defense is angled against him here. Like, it's so much of America. Like, the things that make America strong are against him on this. It's not just a prosecutor or the police or whatever. It's like the state. Now, also he's also accompanied by Secret Service, and they are under no obligation to let him leave.